Constitution Birthday Celebration presented to you by the Delmarva Republican Women. We want to thank each and every one of you for being here. We have a great presentation for you guys today. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the Wetumpka High School Junior ROTC.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The national anthem was sung by Noah Malad. Thank you. And next we will have the prayer by Mayor Day. I'm sorry, that would be the pledge.
I'd be happy to deliver a prayer, but I wasn't asked to. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And to bring us our prayer will be Angela Heide, Salvation Army Corps Cadet, and she also attends Y-High.
Everyone please bow your heads as we pray. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us together today. We thank you for our great community and the freedom that we have to live in peace and worship you in ways that are diverse but unified in this great country. We thank you for watching over and protecting our servicemen and servicewomen who fight every day to preserve our freedom and way of life. We pray that everything we say and do in moments like these would honor and glorify you. Thank you for hearing and answering our prayers this day. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Angel. Okay, we're going to bring greetings to you from the county and the city. We're going to have Wicomico County John Cannon come to the podium.
Thank you. Good evening. How is everyone? Someone say good evening for me. There we go. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the Delmarva Republican Women for this event. It never hurts to remember where you're from, what your country stands for, and what the Constitution means to everyone here today. We can assemble here today because we are in the United States of America. You can say unequivocally, this is the greatest country in the world. Thank you. They've asked me to read the preamble to the Constitution. Turns out the preamble to the Constitution is one sentence. So maybe they were trying to tell me something, but the one thing I can tell you, I'm very glad of it. The purpose of the preamble of the Constitution was simply to inform the public that they were establishing, that the framers of the Constitution were establishing a republic form of government. And this Constitution is what they were establishing to replace the Articles of Confederation. The Articles of Confederation was the original Constitution, but the Articles of Confederation simply allowed the United States to engage in war. It didn't necessarily establish a central government. It didn't establish the executive branch. It didn't establish the courts. Sadly, it did not, well, I don't say sadly, but it also did not allow the federal government the opportunity or the right to tax. Why that was so important was that after the war, after the Revolutionary War, the United States was in debt to many other countries and had to pay those debts. They couldn't raise that money unless they had that authority. That, together with the fact that many states were also not happy with how the Articles of Confederation were established, is why they got together and decided that a stronger form of government was needed, and that stronger form of government is the Constitution that we have today and the one that we are celebrating today. And I have the privilege of reading the preamble for you today. It reads as such, and I know it is very familiar to everyone here. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain, establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Thank you very much, and again, congratulations on behalf of Wicomico County.
Next, going to have Mayor Day come up.
So, well, good evening. So I am always delighted to stand on a stage with our County Council President, John Cannon, and he just remarked to me, and this is true, for once you follow me. But usually it goes the other way. I don't know why. It shouldn't. This is the right order, but I am proud again to be up here with you, President Cannon. I just want to take a quick second for those of you out in the audience and acknowledge that our Congressman Andy Harris is here tonight. Congressman Harris, thanks for coming to Third Friday. We appreciate it. So I just have a quick proclamation that I'd like to read, and this is important because I do believe that this is part of how a city reminds itself of where it came from and what we are enjoying every single day and why we're enjoying it here in this community. This proclamation reads that on September 17th, 2018, we mark the 231st anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by a constitutional convention. And it's fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document, its memorable anniversary, and the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate this occasion. It is important to reaffirm the ideals the framers of the Constitution had back in 1787. By vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through this guardian of our liberties, remembering that lost rights may never be regained. And Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designated September 17th through September 23rd as Constitution Week. And so now, therefore, I, Jacob Day, the Mayor of the City of Salisbury, do hereby proclaim September 17th through 23rd, 2018, Constitution Week in our city. And I urge all citizens to study the Constitution, to reflect on the privileges of being an American with all the rights and responsibilities which that privilege involves. Happy Constitution Week.
Okay, next we're going to have the presentation of awards. Do we have everyone here? Anne? Shaheen?
I'd like to introduce you to Lori Bach, because without her, our program couldn't go on the way we would like it to be. She's the supervisor for the high schools in our county.
It is my pleasure to announce the winners at the school levels. So we'll start with the winner of Parkside, Lena Paul. Which are there specific names? There you go. This is your first. Okay, next up is the winner from Wycomico High School, Naaman Nay. Thank you. Congratulations. And the grand essay winner from James M. Bennett is Samuel Duquette. And I don't believe he's here tonight.
So we had these beautiful plaques made. One went to the school to say thank you for participating in the essay, and the other one went to the winner. So we're going to have the winners come back up in a few minutes and actually read their essays. Can we have the winners come back up for the essay contest? We have Senator Addie Eckert here, and she's going to present to them a citation.
So thank you very much and good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? It's a beautiful night. It is raining on the western shore, so it's great to come back down from Annapolis and to see this beautiful sunshine. So I am going to be reading from the Senate of Maryland, several official citations. This one is offered to Samantha Kohler. Samantha, here. Samantha? Is that right? Hey, Samantha. At Salisbury University, in recognition of being awarded the inaugural Shirley Smack Scholarship from the Delmarva Republican Women. Good luck as you pursue your goal of contributing to the mission of NOAA, the Hurricane Research Division. Thank you so much, and congratulations. God bless you. I think that was a little upstaging. Ah, look at that. There you go. Let's hear it for Samantha. Thank you. And then from the Senate of Maryland, we also have an official citation to Paul Lena. Parkside High School. God bless you. In recognition of winning the Delmarva Republican Women's Essay Contest for your interpretation of how the United States Constitution affects us in this 21st century. Congratulations. Thank you so much. God bless you and keep up the good work. Let's hear it. And so this one is for Naaman Nay. Did I get that right? Again, an official citation from the Senate of Maryland, representing the Maryland General Assembly, in recognition of winning the Delmarva Republican Women's Essay Contest for your interpretation of how the U.S. Constitution affects us in the 21st century. Congratulations. We're going to hear these essays in a few minutes, correct? That'll be exciting. But congratulations. Thank you so much. And I understand Samuel's not with us this evening, but we also have one for Samuel Duquette from James M. Bennett. So thank you all for participating. Thank you for being willing to participate and in the study of our Constitution. And it's so very important today that we understand the underpinnings of where we've been so that we don't trip up with where we're going. Thank you all.
Thank you, Senator Eggert, for helping us with the citations. We have a special announcement to make. You heard of the Shirley Smack Scholarship Fund winner, which is Sam Collier. It is our first year ever giving $1,057 to her this year, and she is an SU student. But Shirley Smack, the one we were doing this for, couldn't be here tonight. So in honor of Shirley Smack, we just want to thank you all, those that donated through the years to our funds, and hopefully we'll do it again next year and we'll present it once again. So congratulations, Sam, on your scholarship. I wanted to say thank you to the Bay Bass Band. They were presenting us with a lovely ensemble before we started today to entertain us. And at this time, they will be presenting to us also a few more songs. Thank you. Thank you, Bay Bass Band. Okay, that's going to have you, Phil Davis, come up and present a song.
You know, the United States has got some problems, but we're still the greatest land to live in, and I thank God for that. There's a man who lives beside me who fought in World War II. He proudly waves old glory from high upon his roof. He starts out every morning like it's Independence Day. I've seen him at attention salute the flag and say, I love this land, sea to shining sea, this land. I love the liberty, the justice, and the truth on which we stand, one nation under God. I love this land. All across the country, in big cities, little towns, while mom's getting the children ready, dad pulls the car around. They join the congregation to sing Amazing Grace. They're free to worship Jesus, and they are free to pray. I love this land, sea to shining sea. I love this land, home of the brave and free. I love the liberty, the justice, and the truth on which we stand, one nation under God. I love this land. God bless America, land that I love. And I will stand beside her and defend her with my life, for my children, for freedom. I love this land, sea to shining sea. I love this land, home and brave and free. I love the liberty, the justice, and the truth on which we stand, one nation under God. I love this land. I love this one nation under God.
Well, thank you. That was wonderful, Mr. Phil. All right, we're going to have a few words from Congressman Andy Harris.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to thank the Delmarva Republican Women for holding this. I want to congratulate, of course, Paul and Naaman and Samantha for writing essays. If you don't have a copy of the Constitution, there's some on the table back there. This is, if you think about this, unbelievable. This is less than 50 pages, and it's in pretty big print. And this is the blueprint for the greatest country ever on the face of the earth. Written, by people who knew, who understood human nature, who understood what a government had to do and the limitations on government, and could do it in something this compact. It's an amazing achievement. So thank you very much, again, for being here, for remembering the Constitution. Again, if you don't have it, get a copy and just read through it. It's not a difficult read, but it's the basis for all our liberties and freedoms. God bless you all.
Okay, at this time, we're going to have Lena Paul come on up. and she's going to read her essay.
How does the Constitution affect us in the 21st century? In the 21st century, there are many problems that arise that the founding fathers and writers of the Constitution never would have thought of. But the wonderful thing about the Constitution is that it has withstood over time. No matter what has been thrown at it, no matter what our country has been faced over the years, it had withstood it. It had affected us in a good way because when we want to make a decision to change something, it is hard to do so because it is a complicated process. Because of that complicated process, it has made us turn back and rethink our decisions. The change of the Constitution is hard to do, which some people might say is a fault of the Constitution, which it is not. Imagine if over the years, the policymakers could keep changing the Constitution after every problem that the country has faced. If they could change the Constitution every time, where would our country be? It would be in total chaos. As a female, the Constitution has affected us in a big way because I know that there has been movements for women to be on the equal stage with men, and the Constitution has allowed us to make that movement. The Constitution states that we should all be equal no matter who you are, no matter if you are a rich white male or a poor white male. It doesn't matter if you're a female or a male. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Mexican, etc. In the 21st century, we face different topics and problems that we are pushing to solve and change. The Constitution is something that every American should understand and know the basics of. The Constitution says and how it affects them, and they must know that they have so much more power than they think they have. They are electing officials to make a good decision for the country, and if the government becomes corrupted, we as citizens have the power to overthrow the government. In the 21st century, we're faced with hard problems, and some of these problems include racism, LGBTQ rights, same-sex marriage, women's rights, gun control, and immigration with terrorists. Yes, these problems should be fixed, and the Constitution allows the power for the government to pass laws. And one thing the Constitution does is that no matter what happens to us, we're not able to easily change what America is known for. America is the land of the free, and to be free, everyone must be equal. Many people argue that the Constitution is old and we should modernize it, and I say no. Because the Constitution is old, we're able to see our country's history. We're able to see where we are from and where we are. It is our jobs to make the Constitution fit with our modernized society, and that's what amendments are for. Amendments are made when we need to change something. Like in 1919, the 19th Amendment was passed, which allowed women to vote. We have the Equal Rights Amendment, which guarantees equal legal rights for all American citizens, regardless of sex. We can say that we're lucky that the Constitution allows us to change some things, but not change who we are entirely. We're working on adding more amendments, so we're all happy and equal as one big American family. To answer the above question, the Constitution affects us in a big way because it is the law that we live by, and everything we do goes with its rule. Let us all come together and fix all those problems, and let us all stay united like we have been for the past years. Thank you.
All right, next we're going to have Naaman come up and read his essay.
The Constitution, a great creation by our founding fathers, it was created to guarantee freedoms and prevent the United States from falling into tyranny. But how does it affect our society today in the 21st century? First, we need a definition for tyranny. Tyranny is a government that oppresses its people. The Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments in the Constitution, and they were made specifically to restrict the government. We'll look at these today. Let us start with the First Amendment. The First Amendment, maybe one of the most widely known, guarantees our right to freedom of speech and expression. Quoted directly from the Constitution, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. This allows us to speak our minds or say unpopular things without the risk of being persecuted for it. It is imperative everyone is given the platform to speak on, because if you take someone else's away, yours may be next. On to the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment may be one of the most controversial amendments nowadays due to the gun control debate that's been going on. The quote reads, "A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." This amendment was made out of fear of a tyrannical government rising and allowing citizens to own guns that would allow them to retaliate like they did for independence. While the fear of tyranny has diminished nowadays, the amendment still stands. The Third Amendment, mostly a relic of days long ago, it is not nearly as prominent or controversial as the two preceding it. No soldier now, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. This is essentially just saying that soldiers cannot live in your house during peacetime. The amendment doesn't bear much relevance. The Fourth Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. No matter the time, this will be relevant in criminal justice and to prevent both government and corruption and tyranny. It allows people safety from police raiding their home without permission on a whim. It helps prevent discrimination as well, since you need to get a warrant through the legal process before you can search. It prevents unwarranted raids on political opponents or dissidents. The Fifth Amendment, no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces, or in the militia when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be put in jeopardy of life or limb. Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Essentially, you don't have to incriminate yourself. This is very good for citizens, since it means the police cannot coerce answers out of truly innocent people. If they interrogate, like an example would be if they interrogated you, they could hold you until you gave an answer that they wanted, but you don't actually have to speak to them because this amendment. It's why the police say you have the right to remain silent. The Sixth Amendment. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have previously been ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have assistance of counsel for his defense. This one serves a purpose that is very important. This makes it so you must have a fast trial, and you can't keep innocent people locked up forever waiting for trial. It's an amendment to protect the innocent from false accusations, in the same vein as the Fifth and Fourth. Next up, the Seventh Amendment. In suits of common law where the value of controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall otherwise be re-examined in the Court of the United States than according to the rules of common law. This really is not as significant as others because you're allowed a trial by jury if you're sued for $20. $20 was worth more back when this was created, but inflation made it a lot less valuable. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted is the Eighth Amendment. It protects the innocent again, and it pretty much makes it so that you don't get fined $1 million for a speeding ticket. The Ninth Amendment reads, "The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed or to deny or disparage others retained by the people." You're not allowed to change the Constitution to discriminate or benefit one over another. It's here to prevent discrimination or tyranny. And finally, the 10th Amendment. It reads, "The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people." This is quite important because it allows states to have a degree of autonomy, and assuming that the federal government hasn't given a stance on it. For example, the states can have different levels of gun control since the federal government hasn't made a ruling on it yet, but they have to follow the federal law on marijuana. In conclusion, the Bill of Rights is massively important to preventing government tyranny and persecution of innocents. The Bill of Rights gives us many freedoms we enjoy today and help preserve them. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. And in conclusion, we will have another song from Phil Davis. But before he comes up, I just want to thank you on behalf of the Delmarva Republican Women for coming out and celebrating the Constitution with us. This is not something we take lightly, and it's a wholehearted event. So we will be also... Hope they're okay. We will also have this aired on PAC 14. I want to thank Keith for videotaping this for us. So if you know anybody that wants to see this, we can order DVDs, or they'll be playing it also on PAC 14 station. So at this time, I want to invite Phil Davis to come up and sing our most favorite song, "God Bless the USA."
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I'd thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the eastern shores of Maryland to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, there's pride in every American's heart, and it's time we stand and say,
Davis. All right, thank you all for coming. Have a lovely evening.